Hello, everyone. Happy Monday. Monday after daylight savings. I know you guys are probably super tired. You probably feel like it's actually, 11 o'clock technically. And now that time's changed, it feels more um, it's 11. Um, Anyways, hope you guys are doing awesome. And I just wanted to pop on here for today's Monday Facebook Live. And I had asked you guys earlier, what did you think about the topic of the day? Should it be about copyright or raw? And surprisingly, most of you voted for learning about copyright, which is so exciting. Yeah, copyright. So copyright won. I think it had like more double voted people voted for it, double. So I guess y'all did not really care to learn about raw, but I think I will still touch on that one day coming up because I do get asked that a lot too. So for today, I'm gonna give y'all some inside tips about what is copyright. Like, what does that even mean? And hopefully you guys can learn from this, especially if you're getting married and you're looking to hire a photographer, or even if you're hiring a photographer for your family. Any case, this can apply to you guys. So I do get asked all the time. A lot of times when people are looking to hire me, they're like, okay, how much do you charge? Can you come here? And then they ask, do we get the copyright? And I think it's just a common question that people feel like they should ask, but I don't think people understand what it means. So a lot of the times, I get to that question and I'm like, why did y'all ask that question? Because it's not really what you think it means. So copyrights, I'm gonna give y'all a little bit of a kind of a history lesson about what copyright is. So copyright started, let's do some history. The Federal Copyright Act of 1976 was put into place. So technically that means that anytime a work of art is created, it becomes the creator's copyrights. They get the copyright. So technically with photography, if I were to take a picture with my camera, the second I click the shutter, it becomes copyrighted to me. I'm the creator. So technically, if you have the copyright of something, you are the initial creator. And copyright pretty much means as well that you have the right to copy that photo, to reproduce it, to print it, because you're the sole maker of that art. And let's see, there's some more information that I saw is kind of crazy. There's actually the Berne Convention. I don't know if y'all have ever heard of that. That started in Switzerland, and they kind of started this agreements with all these different countries saying that if a work of art was created in a country, that it cannot be, I guess, produced in another country. So say Charles Dickens, say he wrote a book and someone in the United States was like, oh, that's a really cool book, I'm going to write it, change the characters, and sell it here. So this act basically kind of said, you know what, that's not cool. That was an original work of art from someone else and you cannot copy that. So yeah, the United States, I think, was really slow to get on that agreement. It took them like 100 years to decide to agree with the Switzerland Act of not reproducing art. So they finally joined the Berne Convention in 1989. They took a really long time to decide, okay, we'll join you guys. And thankfully they did, because copyright now is super important, especially in the digital age. We're such a digital age, and people can take works of art and say that they made them and sell them, and that's not cool. So when it comes to you guys, when you are hiring a photographer or hiring someone to do a painting or anything like that, this will apply to you. So when a couple asks me, hey, do we get the copyright to our photos? Technically, the answer is no. because you did not create the photo. You're not the artist of the photo, so you do not get the copyright. Because copyright is the person who makes the photo. When you have the copyrights, you have a moral rights. So you can take action if the photo is falsely distorted or the integrity of the photo is changed. I don't know if you guys saw recently, there was a family photographer whose photo kind of went viral and the faces were like photoshopped and they look really fake. Did y'all see that? It was like really bad, and I don't know the whole story, if it was real or if it was not real, but had that story, maybe the mom who hired the photographer got mad and she photoshopped their faces all crazy and then sold it to a newspaper, and then that photographer was like, that's not how I did the photo, that's not true. If that were the case, which I kind of think maybe that happened, if that were the case, the photographer who has the copyright, they created the photo, and since it was negatively edited and then kind of like went around like, this photographer is crazy, that photographer, because they have the copyright, could say, hey, that's copyright infringement, and they could take them to court about it and get that photo removed from anywhere online. And that's a lot of work. I've never had to do that before, but if I ever did, if someone were to take your wedding pictures and edit them, like say you have an uncle who was like, I'm mad at you, and edited your photos crazy and then put them all online, the copyright responsibility would be on my shoulders because I'm the artist of the photo. So technically you probably don't want to have the copyright, because then you would be the one going around saying, oh my gosh, what? I don't know what to do. I have the copyright, but I don't know what to do with it. So yeah, that is a little lesson example. Another example too is, say if I were to take a photo of someone famous, they might purchase a license for me to use that photo. So if they wanted to sell their pictures, they could sell it if I gave them permission to. And I've never met a couple that was like, we're going to sell our wedding photos after we buy them from you. I've never had that. But if you were really interested in that, you could technically purchase your photos. But as the creator, that is the copyright. When I take the photo, I'm the creator, and my name is on the photo. And it becomes automatically, it's really interesting. I did a little research before this Facebook Live, and it automatically applies. So even I did a photo contest last year, and the winner, there's like a final winner, their photo, they went to interview them about the photo they took. They won out of like thousands and thousands of people. And when it came down to it, they learned that the person that took the photo was actually the photographer's daughter. She's the one who clicked the camera. Since she's the one that clicked the camera, she did not win the contest. Actually, it was her daughter. And because she, I guess, entered the photo in as if it was her own photo, that was kind of like she was doing copyright infringement, even though it was her daughter, and I think her daughter was like 3 or something, and I don't even remember what the picture was, but that's how serious copyright is. People get really serious about it. Another example is, I guess the only way that it does change is if it's for hire. So if I were to work for a company and take photos under their name, we would have a written agreement that the photos that I would take would be for their usage and it would be under their copyright. So, you know, for years I took photos for a company called Bella Baby and did baby photos, and the copyright was under their name. Thankfully, because that's a lot of responsibility. If they were ever, like say a hospital wanted to purchase those photos, or I don't know, maybe a famous person had their baby there, they would deal with all of that instead of me. So copyright, when people say, do we get the copyright? You know, technically no, because you're not the artist. So instead, here's what you should ask. This is what you really mean when you ask this question. Every time someone asks, hey, do we get the copyright? What you actually probably are meaning to ask are, hey, can we print our photos? Do we get a print release? That is what you want. Because when you get your photos, you want to print them, you want to share them online. That's the big question you want to ask photographers when you're hiring them. That's what you're looking to ask instead of copyright. Copyright is that's something totally different. So yeah, when you are booking a photographer, each person is different. More than likely, they have a contract. So when you book them, they have a contract, and definitely read that. Read what's in the fine print, read what's included. If your photographer does not have a contract, that's a huge red flag. But definitely looking at their contract, they should have some sort of clause talking about copyright, talking about what you get. I know mine, for me, says that you have to have written permission for me to be able to print your photos, to reproduce them, and I don't think you can sell the photos. So, for example, if I were to photograph someone famous, I don't know, let's say Oprah got married after all these years. She's not married. Say Oprah got married and I gave her wedding photos and she was like, I'm going to sell these to all these magazines and make a ton of money. She could not do that because I own the copyright. She would have to purchase like a creative license from me to be able to do that. Anyways, so what you need to ask for is, do I get a print release form? Am I allowed to print these? Ask how you get the photos. Do you get an online gallery? Can you download them? Ask about if they are full resolution. Are they a certain size? Are they limited to only printing as a 4x6? I do know each photographer is different, and some people do sell photos like, okay, you can only order prints through me, you cannot get the digital images. So that's just something you want to ask, just in case if what you're wanting is digital photos and you can print and do scrapbooking with. Definitely make sure that your photographer includes that. So the big question is, when you do contact a photographer, instead of asking, oh, do we get the copyright? The question that you want to ask is, do we get a print release? Can we print our photos? And that is what you probably are looking for. Because, if you were to ask me, do we get the copyright? And I said no, and you asked 5 other photographers and they all said no as well, you might be asking the wrong question. So yeah, let me show y'all real quick. So with my packages, I do include a print release form. You can print your photos however you want to, but it is limited to editing the photos. Kind of like I was telling you guys about that family photographer who the photos got all crazy and did not represent that photographer's work. So for me, I say, hey, don't edit the photos crazy or add filters because it kind of makes it look worse. But I do give my clients a print release form. So if you guys have gotten one of these from me, you can kind of see them. They're real cute. And I have it in writing here. So I basically will sign this and give them to my clients. So if you go and print your photos somewhere like a lab, say you go to Target or wherever and print pictures, they might ask you, do you have permission from the photographer to print them? And then you can show them this. And even online, I include a digital version of this too, in case if you order online and they ask, hey, do you have permission? You can say, yeah, I do, because I bought these. So yeah, hopefully that kind of gives y'all some insight on what is copyright and do you own the copyright. And even in my photos, they are actually embedded into my photos that I'm the copyright owner, creator of the photos. So you might see a picture and inside all the data inside the photo, that stuff that you don't really see, it does have my name. So if your photo somehow were to get in the hands of the wrong person, and they photoshopped it and made it look crazy, you could actually look into the digital information on the photo and see that I am the copyright owner and creator of the photo, so that I'm responsible of this picture, so no crazy stories happen, and I could contact my lawyer and be like, hey, this isn't cool, we need help. So yeah, hopefully that gives you guys all a clearer understanding of copyright, what it means, and how it benefits you. So thanks for joining, thanks for watching, and hopefully, I think next week I'm gonna have a makeup artist come on here, Megan. I'm really excited. I know she's nervous, and you know, I always get nervous on these too, but I'm so excited because makeup has such a big impact on your photos. So I'm gonna ask her to come on and share some tips with you guys. But I hope you'll have a great rest of your week, and hopefully this whole daylight savings thing, you get kind of more used to it. And I'm excited because it's going to be lighter outside for longer, so for photos, yes. But other than that, everyone's just really tired, so lots of coffee today. Y'all can get through it. So thanks for watching, and I will talk to you guys later.